It is Monday, 21st October. Good morning and welcome to THG News Today with Mervyn Henley right here on the network's channel THG. It's a pleasure to be in your company this morning. It's always good to be here. The news, of course, is powered by Carl & Sons Unique Bakery on the island of St. Martin, with 3 locations on the island at the St. Martin's Medical Center on the Punfill and in Colbay. We always ask, we always encourage throughout the news while you're listening, while you're watching, to please subscribe to our network's channel. Thank you very much in advance if you have not done so already. I trust that you had yourselves a good weekend. I was off for a couple of days. I was under the weather and my voice wasn't fully cooperating. So under doctor's orders, I was getting some rest and giving my voice some rest. But it's good to be here with you this morning. We begin this morning with news out of St. Kitts. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force categorically denies and condemns the false and malicious reports circulating on social media, alleging that a large quantity of cocaine is missing from the police exhibit room. According to the release, such flagrantly malicious allegations are not taken lightly, as they pose a direct threat to the integrity of the nation's law enforcement apparatus. Following an internal investigation, it was confirmed that a small quantity of cocaine, which had been seized during the execution of a search warrant at a residence, was inadvertently left at the premises after the search. What? Okay. The procedural breaches revealed by the investigation have since been addressed, and several disciplinary charges, including neglect of duty, were brought against the officer concerned. This matter is being handled in accordance with the disciplinary protocols of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force to ensure full accountability. All evidential items taken into police custody are handled with the utmost care. Strict protocols are followed to protect the integrity of our operations according to the press statement. Any officer found in violation of these protocols will be held accountable in accordance with the law. The trust and safety of the public are our top priorities, and we will continue to ensure that every action taken by our officers reflects our core values of transparency, responsibility, and respect for the rule of law. The release continued by saying, "The police force values the strong relationship we share with the community, and we ask that the public refrain from spreading unsubstantiated rumors that may undermine this relationship. We remain dedicated to ensuring the safety and the security of all citizens and will continue to serve with the highest level of professionalism and diligence." Now, I am not throwing any gas on this because I just think it's crazy, and I agree with the press statement. However, it is just the thought of a police going to raid a place for cocaine and they forget or they overlooked. They just forgot behind, according to them, a small quantity of the cocaine. That is, well, they say the officer has been disciplined and on disciplinary charges and all of that. So that is good because that's just crazy. Yeah. Now we're still in St. Kitts and Nevis with another statement from the police force. And this time the police force is coming out forcefully against the former Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris. And just to put things into perspective, I believe it was last week, we do not have that clip right now, but I believe it was last week, Thursday or Wednesday, that the Honorable former Prime Minister, Dr. Timothy Harris, and his People's Labour Party, they would have had a press conference. And Timothy Harris, he went after the police in a forceful way and demanding answers as far as the death of Azziwah Milk Niles-Jones. And according to the former Prime Minister, that the police, they have not been communicating with the family of the deceased or giving any information or any updates and stuff like that. So the police came out forcefully. So here goes what the police now responding to the former Prime Minister. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force wishes to address recent statements made by the former Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, regarding the handling of an investigation in the homicide of Azziwah Milk Niles-Jones and our communication with the victim's family. We must unequivocally condemn the accusations of neglect leveled against our officers by the former Prime Minister. These allegations not only misrepresent the facts, but also undermine the dedicated efforts of our officers who tirelessly tirelessly work to resolve cases and to support affected families. Since the tragic incident on August 20th, 2024, our investigating officers established and have maintained multiple lines of communication with Mr. Niles-Jones's family. These include home visits and individual discussions with family members, some of which were rescheduled at their request due to the extreme emotional difficulty with which they are faced. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force acknowledges the deep pain and distress that accompanies the loss of a loved one, particularly in tragic circumstances such as homicide. The well-being of victims' families is a priority for our organization, and we always do our best to ensure that they receive timely and accurate information about ongoing investigations. While we encourage open dialogue and constructive criticism, we also urge public figures to exercise strict caution in their statements, especially when they can contribute to further distress for grieving families or mislead the public about the facts. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force is wholly dedicated to conducting thorough investigations and ensuring that all citizens feel supported and informed throughout the process. We will remain steadfast in our mission to serve and protect our community. So that is from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. And while I am reading here, they use terms such as homicide and incident and stuff like that. But the strong language from some, and yes, including the People's Labour Party, they call it an assassination. So that's a heavy term to use. A heavy accusation, rather, by the People's Labour Party and some of the language I've heard regarding this murder. But I do believe, however, there ought to be more updates. It should not have taken former Prime Minister Harris to say something for us to have this press release. I mean, the police know, it's not any secret that this murder, this homicide has been the talk of the town. All kind of things been said about it or whatever the case may be. And I believe the responsible thing to do was to have probably a press briefing regarding the facts, because so much out there. And so to just have the community to have some confidence in this investigation, I just believe that the police authority should have been more forthcoming. Not that they're hiding anything, and I know that the islands on a whole, not just the police force, but politicians and Caribbean folks, they just feel like they're not supposed to say anything or do anything. But when someone says something, they feel the need to react. And we ought to, as a society, to begin practice to be more proactive. So you're coming out with this now, and we appreciate the statement. But at the same time, I believe that especially when certain things are under the microscope, that we should hear more from a proactive angle. Okay, I hope I'm making sense, right? Okay. Now, finally, in our news this morning, Antigua and Barbuda has released the Citizenship by Investment Program data for 2023 and half of 2024 after a 20-month pause, showing unprecedented growth in application numbers. The CIP, that's the Citizenship Investment Program, broke its previous yearly record of applications in the first 6 months of 2024 alone, ensuring this year will be its best, no matter what happens during the second half of the year. Investors submitted 739 applications to the Antigua and Barbuda Citizenship by Investment Program in the first half of 2024, surpassing any previous full year and showing an 8% increase over 2023's total. This surge followed the announcement of minimum threshold increases to align with Pan-American CBI standards. And now if I go back to the applications for the first half of 2024, 739 applications. So multiply 739 applications by 250,000 US minimum. So do the math, 739 multiplied by $250,000 US. And what number do you get? What figure is that? Yeah. And the release continues by saying that the government postponed the implementation from July to August 2024, likely catalyzing investors and creating an application rush. The applications reached 685 in 2023, marking a 40% growth from 2022's 489 applications. Chinese investors in 2024 applications led at 12%, with Americans following at 11%. 11% and Nigerians at 9%. The program witnessed a surge of Turkish applicants, registering 6% of all applications. Traditional source markets showed declining shares in terms of all-time applications except for Americans and Nigerians, which grew 1.5% and 1% overall in 2023. However, Nigerians dominated the charts, registering 33% of all applications before declining in 2024. Chinese investors came in second spot in 2023 with 23% and Americans in third with 21%. So yes, this is what is happening there in Antigua and Barbuda. They're boasting, and they have every right to, of their numbers for the Citizenship by Investment program. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we've just concluded THG News for today, Monday, the 21st of October, 2024. For those of you in the diaspora, we are just 2 weeks away, really, just literally two weeks away from the U.S. presidential elections. We'll see how that goes. Lots happening on that front. Until tomorrow morning, God's willing, at 6 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time, do join me here again. My name is Mervyn Hanley. Have a wonderful day.
Sons have been serving the people of St. Martin for over 40 years, and the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Carl & Sons for simply the best. There are 2 locations, Colbay and on the Punfill. In Colbay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Punfill, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Carl & Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Colbay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Carl & Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you. Nevis, satisfy your sweet tooth at Feaser's, the cozy spot in Charlestown, known for its mouth-watering ice cream and dal parade. We are open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in and sample our patties, sandwiches, air-fried wings with fries, hot dogs, rotis, and now our famous smoothies, in all flavors of course. And don't forget to try the famous bus-up shut and saltfish. It's Feaser's, located at the entrance to the Cotton Ginnery Mall in Charlestown, Nevis. They're also available by phone, so place your order by calling 1-869-665-2458. Don't ask about the rest, just try the best.